Hey guys, Pete Mercer here. So this is my video on my warm-up before I work out. So first things first, we're going to start with the myofascial release that I've been mentioning for a while. So let's get started. What I do is I use it's basically this football to do it. As long as you've got a firm surface that can hold your weight, you're fine. So you either get you can get foam rollers, or you can use a basketball or a football. It doesn't matter as long as it's firm and does the job. So I start with my upper body first, then go to the lower body. Start with the back, and then I'll do the front. So I'll just show you what I do. So basically what you want to do is push your body weight against the ball as hard as you can, and then you want to just go over the muscles. So I start with the back of my shoulders and my scapula first. So you basically just go roll up and down the muscle, and then if you find a tight spot, or you'll come across knots and you know exactly when you hit them, because it'll hurt. And so I've got one just in there. Basically once you come across one, focus where it is, push against it, and then you want to literally just hold your weight against it for until it goes away. And that's basically it. And this is the entire principle of how it works. So I'm just getting this out here. It's once you do it for a while, the pain subsides a bit. It's not as bad, but at first it probably will hurt quite a lot. So get this out, and then once you've actually once you feel it kind of go down like that there, it'll loosen outwards and soften. Then just run the ball up and down the muscle, in line with the actual direction the muscle goes, and then do that there. So this is one of the more painful ones for me. I find that back of my shoulders tend to get quite sore quite quickly. So this one's not so bad, wee bit in there, but I am just going to do this quickly because I'm demonstrating. This can take 15-20 minutes to get whole body done. If you want to just work on the muscles that you're doing that particular day, so if you're just doing shoulders, you could just do this here and maybe bit on your legs or whatever. But I would say my advice would be try and do your whole body if you can. So get shoulders done next. Just work on the back, and it's literally just run up and down the spine. You'll not feel any pain here. You're not going to hit any muscle. It's way too tough, but this is just a great way lengthen the spine and just feel a bit better. And then maybe go side to side and try and just stretch it out. And you won't feel any pain. This won't hurt, but you will actually notice the sensation. Your back will feel a lot more loose and supple, right? So after that there, I'll go on to chest. Same principle again. Just push your body weight against it, and you want to go side to side this time. And it helps if you keep your arm out a bit, and then you'll be able to get right into the joint between your front delt, your bicep, and your pec, I suppose, is what it is. So go over that, do the other side. This one's usually fine, unless you've just done your chest workout. So this is you do your chest on Monday. Tuesday this is going to hurt a bit, but it won't be too bad. Okay, next I'll move on to the arms. So we'll do bicep, and basically just try and get this right in the middle between the two heads of the bicep. That's where you're going to feel it. Usually I don't get any knots here. I don't know if you will, but just run up and down and try and listen. You will feel tingling in your fingers when you do this. Same with the other side. And then next I'll go on the triceps. So this is a bit of a tough one. You can't exactly go flat parallel to where your bicep is, because obviously the tricep kind of comes along to the side of it. So you basically just play around until you find the muscle and the pain, and then work on that. Do the other side quickly. I don't do my abs. I don't know anyone who does. You can if you want. Don't know if it makes a difference, but it's not exactly a muscle you're going to have problems with. Right, so that's upper body, and then now we're going to move on to lower. Okay, so for lower half, I start on the glutes, and this is when it starts to look remarkably similar to a video that Matt August did. It was actually quite a while ago. So this one usually isn't too bad. It's usually at the extremities, where the tailbone is, or where your glutes meet your hamstrings. That's usually it. And then around the outside is where you're going to get the most problems. So I've got quite tight here. So I did cycle home not too long ago. So yeah, this is going to be bad for me anyway. So find the knot, just sit on it till it goes away, and then once that's done, you kind of just roll it out. And then next I'll move on to hamstrings. I start on the inside and then roll my way out basically. Now You can use, if you've got a foam roller, there's not as much balance involved, but when you're using a ball like this, it's a bit tricky, so, you know, just work your way around. And that's basically all there is to it. And then, you know, back to the inside. Now this is the place you're going to get the most problems as you use your legs more than any other muscle. Use them every day anyway, just to get around. And this is where you're always going to find something, and this is where it's going to really hurt. I mean, really hurt. So I've got one right here. So this is basically, that's basically it. You can do your calves, but I find that, you know, they're so small, and it's really hard to try and put any weight on it. You know, you can overlap your legs and do that if you want, but there's very rarely anything in it. So there is. I certainly haven't had any trouble with it at all, but certainly give it a go. So that's the myofascial release side of it anyway. So we'll do our leg off, and then I'll show you when it comes to stretching. Okay, so for the stretching, I do the same thing as last when doing the myofascial release, and I work from top to bottom. So the first thing I'll start with is basically, you know, the arms and the shoulder joints right here. So, you know, a lot of people do, you know, have different thoughts and feelings about dynamic stretching over static stretching. Some people prefer one or the other. It's entirely up to you. I just like to try and get everywhere stretched out, so I do. And, you know, this is basically all there is. So it's very hard to stretch some of the muscles out actively, you know. You basically just want to go through the biggest range of motion with some of them and try and engage them all, you know, without introducing any you know, weight to it. So that's basically the shoulder joints and you know, all this here between your rotator cuffs and all that stuff. So that's basically that, and then I'll move on to, you know, the lower half. There's not really much you can do with your upper half. I'll do a bit, there's a bit when I'll be on the floor, and I'll do the back, so I'll show you that next. Okay, so next thing's next. Put your one leg straight out, other leg over that, put your elbow basically on the outside of where your knee is, and you just twist your back round, and this will stretch out your lower back. It might crack. If it does, it's fine, don't worry about it. Pops and cracks are not a problem. So, you know, do that on both sides. Really stretch it out. And then for legs, start off with hamstrings and calves. So, you know, keep them straight, keep them locked out, and just basically, you know, put your hands, you can put them, you know, on the ground or on the floor if you want. I prefer to put them just, you know, behind where my ankles are, and then that way I can actually just pull my body towards my legs, and that really stretches out hamstrings and calves. So there's that. And then the next one for quads is just, you know, you basically grab the front of your ankle and then pull your leg back, and then it helps if you've got good balance. If you don't have good balance, find something to lean against to hold. And do the other one. And if you want to get a really good stretch here, you know, stand up quite tall. You know, you don't have to really lean back much, but you know, if you're bent forward and you're kind of, you know, going with momentum, you won't get as good a stretch. So you want to, you know, really pull the leg in and then stand up straight. You get a good stretch there. So that's basically, you know, quads, hamstrings, calves. That's the main one. That's just about everything you can do. So that's basically it for what I do. So so the myofascial release, the top half you do, you know, shoulders, back, front, you know, chest, arms, and then, you know, move down the body as you go along, back to front. So as long as, you know, this is what I do. So I start with the myofascial release, then I go on to the stretching. If you want to do dynamic or static stretching, it's up to you, it doesn't matter. If you want to do stretching at all, yeah, you don't have to. If you don't want to, it doesn't really, you know, it's up to you. But this is just, you know, that's what I do. You know, usually it takes a lot longer, about 15-20 minutes to do it properly. This is just, you know, a quick demonstration of, you know, the routine that I go through when I do it. So if, you know, if you're pushed for time and you don't really, you know, have a lot, you know, a lot of time, or, you know, you don't really want to do it, you're not that bothered, you know, you can't just work on the muscle, the grip that you're working that day, you know, chest, back, whatever. That's just, you know, that's another way you can do it. It certainly does help, you know, it loosens the muscle, relaxes it, you know, it makes it more flexible, so, you know, you'll be more mobile for the things, and, you know, it won't be as tight. And that's a big problem that you get when you're bodybuilding and you're lifting, that basically every time you know, you contract and, you know, the muscle, then you know, it becomes tighter and tighter, and eventually, you know, if it becomes too tight, it's just going to go and it's going to pop out of place, or something's going to go wrong. So it's a good way to prevent that, and it makes you feel better. You will feel a lot more loose and relaxed, and that's basically what it does. So this is what I do. If you want to do it, go ahead. If you don't, whatever, it's up to you. So that's basically it. I recommend doing it. So just go through the whole thing, and that's really it. So I'm Pete Mercer. Take it easy.